Take a walk along the trails of Harrison Park in Ellijay, Georgia, and you will be amazed at all you can see. Within the 26 acres of historic farmland nestled along the Ellijay River between McCutcheon Street and North Main Street, and just a short walk from downtown Ellijay, you will quickly realize why Harrison Park has become the go-to outdoor destination of North Georgia residents and visitors alike. With the historic Pinson Barn, 1.5 miles of walking trail, park benches with a river view, bluebird house habitats, and expansive green space, the park has much to offer everyone of any age. Harrison Park has become the premier space for events like movies in the park, the annual chili cook-off, yoga and Tai Chi in the park, the annual scarecrow invasion, music events, outdoor meetings, and of course picnics and healthy activities for all. Thanks to generous supporters including the Harrison Foundation, the Friends of Harrison Park and its dozens of volunteers, along with support from the City of Ellijay and Gilmer County elected officials, this gem of a park has come to life with vision, passion, and hard work. Join me now as I share some of the things that are sure to put Harrison Park on your list of top places to visit and enjoy in Ellijay. The first thing you notice as you walk from the parking lot is the historic Pinson Barn, built in 1923, making it over 100 years old. As a part of its mission, the Friends of Harrison Park are working to rehabilitate the barn and save the corn crib for future generations to enjoy.
My name is Brett Cantrell. I'm a lifelong resident and native of Gilmer County, and just very excited and honored to be a part of this project here today for you folks and the Friends of Harrison Park to celebrate this park and everything we got going on here. And I'm joined now by the director of the Friends of Harrison Park, Miss Linda Lancaster, and she's going to tell us more about the history of the barn and the park itself and the project and how it all came together. So Linda, appreciate you being with us today, and tell us some more info about the park.
Thank you, Brett. Happy to do that. The Pinson Barn here was built in 1923 by Robert Pinson. But for the next several decades, Robert and his family farmed this land from here all the way over to the Ellijay River. On the far side, they had big vegetable gardens, and then beyond them, way back along the river, they had several acres of corn. On this side of the park, the farm at the time, they had it fenced in and they raised cattle. So it was a very high-functioning farm. The barn was also multifunctional, and it was used to store equipment as well as to house horses and small other farm animals. If you look closely at the barn today, you'll see that some recent efforts have begun to rehabilitate the barn. In 2022, the Friends of Harrison Park funded a significant exterior repair program along with painting the barn in its entirety. Just recently, the barn has received brand new doors that were replacing the older ones with like materials so that it will still look as historic as it did before. Over the last several years, the Pinson Barn has become a landmark on this side of Ellijay and a favorite photo op for lots of groups, individuals. We have wedding photos taken here, graduation, engagements, and birthday memories. So we believe that first-time visitors to the park will definitely want to take a few minutes to check out this barn and the corn crib right behind us to get a real good glimpse of Ellijay's history.
Thank you, Linda. And just a personal note, I would like to thank you guys, you and all the Friends of Harrison Park, for what you have done here and what you're continuing to do here. Because I can distinctly remember as a child going to Ellijay Elementary and Ellijay Primary School 25 years ago, you know, this whole place just being covered in kudzu and overgrowth, the barn being in a very dilapidated state. And from the moment I knew this was going to happen and the project started, I've been down here supporting it, walking, and just love the space and really appreciate everything that you guys have done for our community here with Harrison Park.
A bit further down the trail, you will discover bluebird houses and, if you are lucky, some of the residents of those houses. The Bluebird Trail was installed in 2019 by the Friends of Harrison Park and has become home to many hundreds of bluebirds since.
We're here with Pam Johnson, one of our volunteers with the Friends of Harrison Park on our Bluebird Trail, and she's going to tell us a little more about the bluebirds here at the park.
Welcome to the park, everyone. We want to discuss bluebirds very quickly with you. The bluebird houses were developed approximately 4 years ago. We have 6 of them in Harrison Park, and this is one of them. This particular one has actually babies inside, or I call them babies. You can see how high that nest is. The nest traditionally is 2 to 4 inches tall. And if you can see this clearly, you can see the color of the eggs. They're traditionally light blue, or sometimes they're white. They have 4 eggs traditionally, and they have them 3 times. The dads start looking for places in January and February. They pick 2 homes, I call them homes, for the mothers to come and inspect and choose. We've been real successful with the bluebirds. We take a lot of precautions. We make a lot of important decisions about the houses of how to keep them clean. They're great birds. If you have one in your area and it's your home, encourage them by having good, proper ventilation for them. They don't like regular houses. They like to be on a house similar to this. And this precaution prevents snakes from climbing up, which is one of the biggest predators of the bluebirds.
Thank you very much, Pam, for joining us in the park today, and thank you for all your hard work with the bluebirds.
You're very welcome.
Here we are in the back trail loop in the park. Altogether, there are 3 loops and 1.3 miles of trail. This area is a favorite area for dog owners to bring their pets for a fun outing. The Friends of Harrison Park have equipped the park with several doggy waste stations and supplies.
We're joined now here by Brenda and Dolly, and Brenda's going to talk a little bit about the dog walking trails and things they enjoy about Harrison Park.
Thank you. This is Dolly Wright, and she's a mix. We adopted her about 6 years ago from the Gilmer Animal Shelter. And she's an old girl, but she's wonderful. She's a wonderful dog, and she absolutely loves Harrison Park. When we say we're going to Harrison Park and we get out her harness, she gets so excited and just loves to come. And we bring her walking several times a week. We appreciate the stations for cleaning up after her and always try to do our part to keep the park clean. But we love bringing Dolly to Harrison Park, and we do it as often as we can.
Well, thank you for bringing Dolly to Harrison Park and enjoying the space here, and thank you for your time today as well, Brenda.
Thank you.
We have now come around to the west side of the park, and here we come upon a 1.5 acre wildflower meadow. This space has been cultivated, mowed, and planted by the Friends of Harrison Park to create a floral destination where walkers and families can enjoy and study a huge variety of bee and butterfly pollinator plants and meander along the meadow pathway for a close-up look.
I'm standing here with Ashley Hoppers with UGA Extension in our wildflower meadow. And Ashley, tell us a little more about what we got going on here.
Absolutely. I would be delighted to share a little bit more about this beautiful space. You know, we call it a pollinator meadow, but what this really is an ecosystem teeming with life. So when we define an ecosystem and what that actually means, really all we're referring to is a biological community with interacting organisms in their physical environment. And so what we have here is more or less a simulation of a wildflower prairie. It's about a 2-acre plot, and there is so much going on here. We have plants, and when we think about what is a plant doing for us from an ecological perspective is filtering water, providing breathable oxygen, and also a venue to support our native wildlife, like all of our different pollinating insects, which includes more than what you would think. It's not just about the honeybee. We have hundreds of different species of native bees, butterflies, beetles, you name it. Everything is using this space. And then when you think about a step up from that, we are also feeding a lot of our small mammals, birds. We have bluebirds flying all over the place over here. And so what we really are looking at is a thriving ecosystem and a beautiful part of our community to showcase what we're doing from an ecological perspective here at Harrison Park.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Ashley, for joining us here today at Harrison Park.
My pleasure.
Along the west side of the park border is the Ellijay River. Trees and simple picnic tables scattered along its bank make this a favorite space for relaxing, picnicking, and simply enjoying the outdoors. The Friends of Harrison Park have installed these tables and are working to create even more intimate spaces along the river and across the park grounds. Due to the shade trees and cool breezes from the river, many park events are held in this section of the park. Over the course of the year, there will be movie nights, music events, group picnics, fitness classes, and other local festivities, generally open to the public and often free to attend.
We're here now along the river in Harrison Park with Ron Cheslock, who is the Director of Tourism for the Gilmer Chamber. And Ron's going to tell us a little more about some of the events and activities going on here at Harrison Park.
Yeah, thanks. So I think one of the most exciting ones is our annual 5K. This is our second year. It's the Sasquatch 5K. It runs through the park, around McCutcheon Street, and then back. And the interesting fact about this is it actually goes through the barn, which is really neat. It's one of the historic monuments here on site. Throughout the year, we have various movie nights in the summertime, acoustic music events as well. Great family-friendly, Bring your lawn chairs, bring your dinners out. We just finished up at a yoga event here. Nice cool morning. One of our other big key events is the Scarecrow Invasion, which is in October. Last year we had almost 60 scarecrows. Brings out a lot of the businesses, civic groups, and just great opportunity to kind of walk through the park, and allows you the opportunity to vote for different categories.
Well, thank you very much, Ron, for joining us here today, and thank you to all the members of the Gilmer Chamber for all that you guys do for us here at Harrison Park.
Well, thank you. It's been a great opportunity.
Well, here we are back in the parking lot and standing in front of our newest Harrison Park attraction. In April of this year, the new public restroom building provided by the City of Ellijay was completed and has been met with much appreciation by all park visitors. If you'd like to learn more about the happenings at Harrison Park, I hope you will consider becoming a member of the Friends of Harrison Park. Check out our website, friendsofharrisonpark.com. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook at Harrison Park Ellijay. This is where you will get the latest information on all events and activities sponsored by the Friends of Harrison Park, and get details on volunteer opportunities and meetings.